Commander Simlex here, and today in this video we will be looking at science vessels and how to maximize their potential while exploring strange new worlds in Star Trek Online. Now, seeing as I do not have a science character, I am holding out until they release a species known as the EMH, or holographic character, to create my science officer. So I figured, why not take a science vessel that one of my other characters has and spec it out. I already searched the exchange for some of the best gear. I am missing a few pieces, but I did do quite a lot of searching for good gear already. So to maximize the potential of a science vessel, you will want to look at your bridge officer abilities. In the case of science officers, they have photonic ships, gravity well, tachyon beam, scramble sensors, and science team, and quite a few others. And depending on what stats affect the ability will depend on what consoles you want. Now, of course, there will be a trade-off, but I'll get to that later in the video. So let's start by the same principle in all my ship specking videos for maximum damage applies here. You would want all the same energy type for your beams, dual beam banks, and your torpedoes, as this will allow you to maximize the amount of console slots that you have to maximize damage. So let's start by changing out these for phased biomatter beams. What? Oh, well, that's a bug. Sorry guys, I just bought 2 cannons, but the art asset is not correct, and I thought they were beams. Okay, I will be right back when I sort this all out. And we're back. Sorry about that. So, I found out something about these Xindi-based phased biomatter weapons. Apparently, this is actually a new type of beam/cannon. It's sort of a mix between the two, since it has a 180-degree targeting arc, but is labeled a cannon. So I sorted that out and got 2 beam arrays for the rear instead. So yeah, that's all sorted out. And I also went and did the Breen missions, Cold Case, Cold Call, and Cold Storage, and those are in no particular order, and got the Breen Set, which will replace the shields, the deflectors, and the engines. Now, let's continue specking this out. So I am replacing all the phaser and plasma weapons with phased biomatter, so that it is all one energy type, and phased biomatter weapons do phaser damage. So I will go and grab the phaser relay, which will increase the phaser damage, and I will put in my 0-point quantum chamber, so that my new quantum torpedo, which will replace my rapid fire transphasic torpedo, will do more damage also. Now, as far as the sets go, I would definitely recommend the Breen Set for any science vessel, depending on your skills, because the deflector improves knockback, repels, slows, which is gravity well, Tychon's Rift, etc. And then it also improves starship power insulators, which resists power drains and shield drains. So it is awesome that way, and it also increases your shield drain and power drains, like tachyon beam and energy siphon. And also it improves your stealth detection, which and also this same stat, starship sensors, resists confuse and placates, which is sensor jammer and all sorts of stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend that. So I'll start putting that in here. And then I would also recommend that you go with it for another reason, is that it has a combat impulse engine, so you can shift all your power to shields or auxiliary to help your abilities or shields, and your engines will still function at peak efficiency. And also, the Breen set has the auxiliary thrusters modifier on it, which means that if your engines are disabled, which it means that all power is drained from the engines, and your engines are basically powered down, then you will have 25% move speed thanks to the thrusters. So I'll just finish putting that in here if I can find the shield in my inventory. Here it is. And then the shield has a pretty high regeneration rate as well as a high cap. Now, this Breen set also gives me 3 abilities: superconducting phase channels, which improves starship transphasic projectile and starship power transfer with the electroplasma systems. This particular ship does not take advantage of the projectile damage, but I might switch that out later. And then I also have Breen Energy Siphon, which is further increased by the deflector's abilities. And this will drain power from the systems of the opponent for 6.7 seconds. The stats are up on screen. So that's the set. Now, and the weapons all taken care of. Now for engineering, I would recommend just plain a lot of armor and maybe an SIF generator to increase the resistance of the ship to any energy type that is thrown at it, so that it will survive. You could do power increasers like plasma, manifold, and all sorts of other things. Like, for instance, this one, the field emitter, which improves your shield power setting and various other aspects. You could also put in some Voth consoles, like, for instance, signature damper, which improves resistance rating as well as hull repair and defense rating. But I prefer just to go straight with the armor and make sure that all my damage resistances are covered, including kinetic. Now in the case of, now onto the science consoles. Now with science consoles, it's a bit of a issue because science consoles improve your ship's capabilities, especially when you're a science captain or have a lot of science abilities. So that, of course, is a very valid asset to have. However, also, you will need to improve your shield capacity and other resistances, or other abilities such as shield regen and shield cap. Now, You could put in some Voth shield refrequencers to increase your exotic particle damage from like Tychon's Rift and Tachyon beams and such, as well as a 10% chance to trigger 75 shields every 2 seconds for 6 seconds, which is an automatic, which is a shield regeneration ability. Now, in this case, this has plus 10% shield regeneration rate, so it essentially is a shield emitter amplifier with a few extra abilities. Now, since this is a science vessel, I am going to do that and replace this with that. Now, of course, you could go with just... Oh, and this one has maximum shield capacity increaser, so that's really nice. And it also has a proton damage modifier, which I will not be utilizing, so this is not exactly a good console for me because I'm not utilizing the main console buff that this has. So I might end up going for a different console, but for now, because field generators are really, really expensive, I will swap this out for that. And that should cover most of it. And then, in the case of this ship, the USS Faraday is an advanced research vessel retrofit, which comes equipped with a tachyon detection grid console, so that'll take up one slot there. Now, I also put in the photonic displacer from the Rhode Island class ship, but I think I will swap that out for another shield emitter amplifier just to improve the ship overall. So let's go and grab one of those. And in this case, with all my ship specking videos, I have been getting consoles and equipment off the exchange or reputation system. However, with the new crafting system in place, you can also get it through there, and I will be making a video making an overview video of the crafting system as well. So stay tuned for that. And I will also be making a combat effectiveness video that showcases all of the ships I have been building and showing you in the ship specking videos, and actually showing how well they perform. So let's go and get a shield emitter amplifier for this ship. Shield consoles, science rank, upper half. So that's pretty good, but I think I'll go with either a very rare if it's not too expensive. Oh, that's a bit pricey. I think I'll go with... that's a bit better. Now let's put that in. Wait a minute. Oh. I guess I'll have to create some inventory slots. Whoops. Whoops. I'm glad they have the retrieve feature. Oh, no, they don't. Awesome. Oh, well, I'll have to redo the mission to grab that one. So let's go to the exchange and buy that. Uh-oh. One thing. There we go. Now let's put that on the ship. And now the ship's console layout is completed. Now, as far as warp cores go, I would recommend going with 1 to shields or 2 auxiliary, depending on what you would like your ship to be more enhanced in. In my case, I like extra survivability in most of my ships, if not all, so I tend to go with shield enhancements over ability enhancements. So, but in this case, you could also go with a auxiliary enhancement, which would improve all your abilities in space, because most abilities use auxiliary power. But in this case, this warp core enhances engine power and then also shifts the auxiliary power to shields, and then also has a subsystem repair which will resist subsystem offline status, which is caused by power drains, knockbacks, and disables. So let's put that in there over the standard warp core. And the USS Faraday is complete. And that is how you build this is the overview of how to make a good science vessel in Star Trek Online. Now, as far as where to start when speccing a ship like this, you would want to start by asking which energy type would you like to have your ship equipped with. In my case, or in this case, the USS Faraday, for the USS Faraday, I equipped phased biomatter cannons, and phased biomatter beams. So I chose phased biomatter and quantum torpedoes. And then after that, you can, then the next question you want to ask is, do I want to have more survivability, more abilities, or more damage? And depending on that, you will spec your consoles differently each time. And you can watch my previous videos on how to maximize damage and survivability for engineering and science ships to have a more comprehensive overview on those. Now, in this case, this is a shield enhancing and survivability loadout, but you can spec it any way you like. And then the next question would be, which set would you like? And then you can choose from Omega, Mako, Nukara Strike Force, 8472 Counter Command, the Assimilated Borg set, the Honor Guard set if you're a Klingon, and the Dyson set, and a ton of others. And you can look at all of them and see which ones have the abilities that you want, and then grab those and put them on as well. And same with warp cores, you basically ask, would you like shield enhancements, or would you like ability enhancements, or what enhancements you would like, and then you look for a warp core that has it. Now, you can get all this gear, as I've stated before, either through the exchange, reputation system, or through the R&D system, which I will overview at a later date. So that is all the time I have for this video, and please like and subscribe and comment and share if you like this video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Commander Simlex, out.